What's up, guys? Wanted to show you a couple of the modifications that I've made that will be helpful, I think, to some of y'all. I'm very limited on space in my garage for the laser machine, and I did not use the water container that they gave me, so I went out to Home Depot and bought a small container that I was able to put down there in the bottom, so that's not any extra space that I'm taking up. And put some brass fittings on it. The pump is inside the tank. I got the water level right about the connectors. What winds up happening is there is a supply line that comes out of the tank, feeds up and into this little clear tube, and then I've got some end caps on both sides. And then I drilled out, tapped out some brass connectors, put Teflon tape on it. So I had tried it at first, and on one of the first videos you'll probably see where it fell apart, and I guess the pressure was too much for it and the caps fell off. Well, I wound up using some rubber clear silicone and let it sit overnight, and it's nice and hard, and so it's on there. It's not coming apart. The whole purpose of this is when you're running the laser machine, you're assuming that everything's working fine, the water's coming in, flowing through, coming out, and for any reason there's any kind of blockage or stoppage or anything, you're not going to know it. So with this particular item here, you actually see it streaming from the top down, and it holds water about right here. So you can always see that there's water going into the CO2 machine, and if there's no water, you don't have any water in the tube. So that's one thing, and I'll show you how it operates. The other thing too that I've done is I went out to the PetSmart, bought a little aquarium thermostat. I 3D printed a little bracket, which I've got it sitting on, and it's basically just heavy duty double adhesive tape, and it's on there good. It's not coming off. That in turn, it's battery operated. It's showing me in Fahrenheit. It's a little cool right now. 61 degrees. I've had the machine running for an hour and a half, and the water level only raised up probably about 3 or 4 degrees. But the probe actually goes down and it's into the tank, and that's what you're seeing right there. That's the actual temperature probe. I think it's a good idea. See what the temperature of your water, if it's increasing, getting hot, then something's going wrong. The other thing that I've done is the blower that comes with this machine. I've got it just feeding out, but it makes a lot of noise. So what I did is put this little light switch dimmer. You don't want to get the cheapest one. You want to get one at least 1,000 watt dimmer. And basically one end is plugged in, the other end comes into the dimmer switch, and then the output, basically what we call the load, goes to the actual exhaust fan. So what we do is I'm going to go full strength first, and you'll hear how noisy it is. And that makes quite a bit of noise. Now, I really don't need all that suction, so what you can do, and you got half the noise. Crank it up a little bit more, and there you go. And that's pretty much good workable exhaust. Basically a lot less noise. You can still get the air out of the machine. Now I've created a little drawing in Corel Draw to show you how it works. You got an extension cord. This is what plugs into the wall. You do not want to do this hot or live. You have this disconnected. So let's say, for example, there's a box, the dimmer, and then the socket that the exhaust fan plugs into. Okay, so there's the plug. The black is the hot, which I've marked out. That black actually connects into the line of the dimmer switch. The other side of the dimmer switch plugs or connects to the load, which is the actual socket. You don't necessarily need to cut these other wires, which is the green, which is the ground, or the white neutral. I made it blue so it stands out. You can see a difference, but that's actually going to be, if you chop that off, the cord itself will have a black, white, and green. Black is going to be your hot, your green is the ground, which is the center little round post, which is that one. That just feeds right on through. Same thing with the white. That is your neutral. That feeds right on through. Then you put, your dimmer switch in the box, screw it down, put the cap on, the plate, and then once you plug this into the wall and you plug your exhaust fan into it, then you control it by, you can hear the difference there. So here we go. Now we got that going on. I really don't need the exhaust fan now, so let's turn that off, and I'm going to show you the let's call it the bubbler or visual water. And I'm turning the machine on, so I'll reach in here for the switch, and there we go. You can see the water and going into the CO2. So the top is supply, bottom part of it is the outlet to the CO2, and little by little it starts raising up the water. And like I said, I've had it running and the water level gets probably about halfway. Very easy just to look to the side and see it. It's a comfort knowing that water is going through the tube like it's supposed to and keeping it cool. And if it's not going to run, that laser is going to heat up and burn out, and you're going to need service work or get a new tube. Well, hope you enjoy it. There you go.